Do I sound nervous?
You deserve this new job. Jobs in Coral Grove, not easy to get, especially your rate. Enough to save up for that tuition.
I've got this puppy.
Hurry up, let's go.
Take care of your sister.
I do take care of her.
Call me if you need anybody.
People over here are weird. Can't imagine what their kids are like.
Come on in, honeybee.
Hi, I'm Sasha.
I can tell you'll put our previous babysitter to shame.
Can we go to the park, Miss Sasha? My friend said the new slide is special. Miss Sasha.
Miss Sasha, it's so dark in here.
You have to leave this place. I can't. I'm her babysitter.
I don't feel so good.
I really think that there's something trying to hurt me.
Gardener lit the weeds.
We're gonna get out of this, okay?
Welcome back to In Pursuit of Magic, where we explore the things that inspire us, connect us, and the magic we find along the way. I'm Matthew Medina, and today's very special guest is an incredibly talented Colombian-American filmmaker, Felipe Vargas, who's an award-winning director who's quickly becoming one of the most exciting new voices in horror. After making a splash with his feature directorial debut, the chilling supernatural thriller Rosario, he's back with his brand new Tubi original Hive, which premieres today. In Hive, Vargas takes us into a sunlit playground where nothing is as innocent as it seems. Starring Xochitl Gomez and Aaron Dominguez, it's a supernatural thrill ride with an emotional heart that speaks to some very real-world things. Felipe, thank you for being here. Just watching it last night, it was a roller coaster. You feel the tension, but you also feel the heart and the reality amidst all the supernatural stuff going on. What was it that drew you to the story of connecting horror and babysitting? And also, how did the location kind of play a role in all that and building the tension?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time and for that great intro. And in terms of why babysitting and why the playground, it comes from real life experience. I mean, some of my first jobs were as a babysitter, as a tutor, as a camp counselor, so working with kids in these pretty wealthy suburbs. And I mean, most of the kids were great, but sometimes some were a little bit of a handful, maybe even a little scary. So I wanted to make a film that took sort of this everyday setting of a kid's playground, the most innocent, sort of, let's say, joyful place that you can be in, and warp and distort that into something really sinister and malignant and creepy, but also fun and colorful and poppy and not the usual horror aesthetic.
Yeah, I definitely got the colorful poppiness, which was really cool because I noticed, especially in the beginning, there was a lot of yellow in each scene, and I was like, it's calling back to like the hive and the honeybees, which was really cool to notice.
Good eye. Yeah, that was definitely intentional. Yellow.
I was gonna ask that. Yeah.
Yellow, green, and sort of red orange. We really wanted those saturated pops of color to just yell at you. And yellow in particular, we associated with the little girl Victoria, one of the sort of main, let's say, the queen bee of the hive mind. And it had that sort of bee element to it too.
That's awesome. And the film centers around an anxious teenage babysitter, Sasha, played by Xochitl Gomez, who loses the child she's watching and confronts this supernatural, sinister evil. What drew you to explore the bigger message of the deeper messages? I mean, some of the lines that stand out to me were, "What if surviving isn't enough? It's eating us." And the biggest one for me also was, what if it's not just about surviving, but dragging things into the light and saving others?
Yeah.
And that really came through as a message. And I was wondering, for you, why was that such an important part of the story?
Yeah, thank you for picking up on that. And, this actually originated as a short film and we were turning into a feature. I thought, I need to do something more. Like, I love fun, colorful, poppy, sort of campy horror movies, but I also love movies that have another layer beyond that. And with this one, we really wanted to tell the story of these two siblings with very different perspectives and about, this working class family that maybe has been sort of looked over or seen as invisible because of this mentality of, putting your head down, nose to the grindstone, don't make noise, which is a very real mentality, I think, in a lot of people. I think it's universal, but in particular in like Latino immigrant families. So we wanted to dig into that a little bit deeper. And, what if this monster kind of exploited that and targeted working class folks, the nannies, the gardeners, the babysitters. So there's that element that I think actually makes the film more potent and hopefully emotional.
Absolutely. And very relatable. And, I think back to Rosario, which was also a very fun, scary, intense ride. And both the character of Rosario and Sasha stood out for me as final girls who made a lot more logical decisions or reacted very realistically, like, nope, not going in there, or not dealing with this, I'm getting out of here. And for you, what is it that Emerald Tubia and Xochitl Gomez brought to their roles that made them the hero an audience really wants to cheer for and like believes in decisions they're making?
I appreciate that. And I really, I grew up with very strong Latinas. And I think, the type that maybe would see the monster and, throw a shoe at them or run away. So I wanted to make sure that these characters were both vulnerable, but strong, really strong and confident, or learning to gain that confidence through the process. That was really important to me. And final girls who sort of subverted expectations and came from different backgrounds and different worlds. Obviously in Rosario, she's a very wealthy Wall Street broker. Here, she's sort of a working class teenage babysitter. But they both have these very complex relationships with their families, right? I think that's the through line for me. Stories about family within this larger kind of cultural and then beyond that horror context.
Absolutely. And the message of remembering where you're from really came through with both, which I think was super important. And to wrap up, I just wanted to ask you, where do you find magic most? Whether it's through the writing, the filmmaking, or even outside of all that? And how do you hope to create magic for others?
I mean, what I love about movies is the magic of it. And by that, I mean the sort of illusion of particularly like special effects, FX makeup, VFX, like the magic of building worlds. That to me is really special. And I think it's most special during production. Like when we were making this film, the creation of the insides of these tube slides and turning a water park into this kind of super dark, or not even dark because it's full of color, this underworld, like that to me was where the magic was here. And in the effects makeup, like when we had the wounds and the pus and the blood, that stuff is just like the magic, because it's where I started. Like as a kid, I would tie prosthetics to my dog and that was the movie monster, and I would make miniatures. Like that creation, like hand felt creation, is what we try to pour into every movie.
That's amazing. Yeah, because definitely the underground set and that whole scene and sequences felt very alive. You felt like they were in a place that was alive and was thinking. So you definitely came through. And thank you so much for joining me and answering my questions. The movie is amazing and it's out now. So everyone go watch on Tubi.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Appreciate it.
Thank you.